Now let's talk about verbs. And essentially, verbs are what's happening. You've got three different types of verbs. You've got action verbs, linking verbs, and helping verbs. So action verbs are probably the most common verbs that you know. They include physical and mental actions, things like run, jump, leap, think, decide. So even those mental actions where you're not physically doing anything still count as an action verb. Sometimes, though, you have linking verbs. And the key to a linking verb is that it links the subject of a sentence to a description. So something like the word tastes great. So tastes is our linking verb there because it's not actually something that somebody's doing. Or is pretty, it's a state of being verb. So those are your linking verbs. And then finally, the third type are your helping verbs. And they're really easy to remember because helping verbs are always going to go along with other verbs. That means they're going to be part of a verb phrase. They work with other verbs to communicate tense. So for instance, if you have the verb phrase will get, will is your helping verb that's letting us know when the getting is happening. Did have, did is letting us know when the have is happening. So those are your helping verbs. All right, let's take a look at some tricks that'll help you be able to identify these verbs. The first thing that you want to do is make sure you check your to be verbs. Okay? To be verbs are never action verbs, so that's one thing you can eliminate. And then you've got an easy way of checking what kind of verb they are. If you've got a to be verb and it's followed by a modifier or some sort of description, you know it's a linking verb. If you've got a to be verb and it's followed by some other verb form, whether it's an ing or a past tense, you know it's a helping verb. It's working with something else to help it out. So we've got a paragraph over here. Let's take a look at it and see if as we go, we can identify the verbs that are here. So we've got, I must go back to that pizza place. Well, I know go is an action verb, but must is also telling me when that's going to happen. So we've got must go back to that pizza place. The pizza was delicious. And I can see this was is followed by a description. It's a to be verb. I know this is a linking verb here. All right. The pizza we had was topped with cheese. So first, we had the pizza. That's something that we did. And then this is also describing it. So we've got another verb, was. It was topped with cheese, sausage, pepperoni. And that sounds really good. And it was covered. All right. So we've got was over here as our helping verb. That's telling us when covered happens. So that's an action. In black olives, they are my favorite. We've got another linking verb here that's linking they to being my favorite. And then we have one up here I just spied that we missed, was topped. And remember, if we look at a to be verb and we see that it's got a form of the verb, even if it's past tense after it, we know that's a helping verb. So there's some little tips and tricks with identifying verbs in your sentences, and this will help you when it comes to sentence-verb agreement and all sorts of other things in your writing.